my mic's off. No. Look at that. Yeah. So the first few minutes of what I'm going to be podcasting hasn't been on my podcast. So, oh well. Jump forward. Everything I've been just talking about was just to catch up on my podcast. It's all about Ric Flair and this whole thing about the plane ride from hell. And I understand where JR is coming from on this. He's an absolute gift to the wrestling world. I will try to fix this because honestly it's starting to bother the hell out of me. Put it right there. There we go. Or that side. That side's better. Because now no, it's not. There we go. Much better on my chair. What was deeming me the possibility of just pissed off ignorance and just it was bullshit to me. Like Ric Flair keeps tweeting out and just just leave something alone, man. Just leave it alone because everybody says you did it. Just you know what, that's the way it is. The shit rolls downhill. I will explain something. I learned something from BCIT. I learned something from the rule as a plumber. Payday's Friday. Okay, payday's Friday. Shit rolls downhill. Don't bite your fingernails. All right, that's the thing. That's why shit goes downhill, as everybody says. This whole thing has just got so out of proportion and so blown out of context. I'm just surprised Charlotte hasn't said anything, but she's in WWE, so I am pretty sure she can't say squat to this, and she's being shushed and whatever. A lot of them touched base on the wrestling podcasts I've been listening to have touched base on one thing during Monday night's showing, which was a really good show. I will give it up. When Charlotte Flair was out in the ring doing the whole Alexa Bliss angle, the Lily and the Charlie thing, fans were getting up. I understand this is kind of like directed at the kids, but again, people were leaving, going to the concessions, to the bathrooms, whatever, because I guess the whole Flair thing just, it's a sour point, it's a hard point, and what her daddy's doing, and not listening to his lawyers and agents and wife and everybody around him, and just saying, hey, just knock it off. I understand that. I fully understand that. But again, it's what it is. It's the pro wrestling mentality of it, and it sucks that it got, like, he went on ESPN's 30 for 30 or 60 or whatever, the E60 thing special about him, and it, again, this whole plane ride from hell saga, I have seen so many things on YouTube, I've heard so many things on there too about it, and Jim Ross, he's absolutely right. Let's just end this stupid thing and just not talk about it, because it was such a black eye. For him, he was a talent relations president operator guy, so he had to fire a lot of people, yet he couldn't fire Ric Flair. Why? Because he said it in the show. If you go and watch it at the end, he said why he couldn't fire Ric Flair. Ric Flair was a made man. He's a made man. He can't fire a made man. It's like being in the mafia. You can't kill a made man unless sanctioned by the heads. So how he got away with what it was. So anyways, let's move on from all that. I'm not going to even want to talk about that. That's just so disgusting and so despicable on that behalf. Let's go over to the other news in the wrestling world. So, NXT, yes. Braun Breaker breaks out the Steiner recliner, and he snapped it in. Like, oh my god, if WWE does do the edgier NXT 2.0, I understand a lot of people like look at Ciampa, he's the dark, grittier guy, but I know they say he doesn't look right. I think he can work with this. Ciampa is a very talented wrestler. I know I just talked about Breakker, but it was Breakker and Ciampa versus Dunn and Hall, and I will get into that after on my take on that. Ciampa can do this. Ciampa is a hell of a great persona. I know the draft is next week, so we got the draft coming up. All branches of superstars. I don't think the NXT UK roster will be anywhere affected by this, so that's fine. That's great. Whatever, just leave it on that note. Just use your NXT, SmackDown, and Raw. Braun Breaker is a hell of a great athlete, and to him teaming up with Ciampa was it was an extension to showing that you do have new talent coming up. Ciampa, I heard, is actually, he at one point was not willing to come to the main roster, but now he's looking like he wants to come to the main roster. And I think Vince, if he was smart enough, would move him. Move some guys over from SmackDown to the Raw brand. Build your Raw brand, because your Raw brand is sinking and it's a toilet-feeding garbage bin. It is just shit show. The last 2 shows were pretty good. Well, the one before this week's Raw was pretty good. This week's Raw was really good because you had the Bloodline and New Day going at it. You had Reigns, and you had the triple threat. You had Reigns versus Big E, Universal versus World, which we'll see probably at Survivor Series, which hopefully we'll get another Bloodline versus New Day match. I don't give a crap what stipulation you put into it. You could do an elimination. You can put it in a steel cage. You can put it in a Hell in a Cell. I don't give a shit what you do with it. That right there is moneymaker. But I also hear the rumors and the rumblings, since Lashley did a good job being a world champ. And I'll give Lashley all the credit to the world. Lashley finally showed that he's a good champ. So he didn't just win the United States Championship since he came back to WWE and the Intercontinental Championship. He also won the WWE Championship, which means he can now go and get the Universal, and he parlays himself into a man who hasn't held the tag titles yet. That's the only thing that's keeping him. But if he holds the other, I'm pretty sure he'll be a Grand Slam champ on that. So that's cool. The thing I probably didn't watch this part of Raw. I missed this, but Bobcat, Black Cat, Keith Lee. No, don't. If you're gonna give Keith Lee a moniker, let him be the Limitless Keith Lee. That's all I say. Keith Lee is awesome. He's a fantastic guy. For him to be a heel, if you're gonna, okay, you got this whole mix-up. Really, if you're gonna do a heel, team him with New Day, and then, just let him annihilate the hell out of these guys. Team them up for a few weeks, and then just annihilate the shit. Just have them disintegrate Kofi, Xavier, and Big E, and then there you go. You got your heel point there. Boom. It's off. It's into the outer atmosphere. I hear the Goldberg Lashley will be crown jewel. Oh, great. We're in the Saudis again. So it's just Goldberg, Lashley, Reigns, Lesnar. Way. I don't know. I can't really explain that. As I say, I don't even want to talk about crown jewel. It's a joke of a show anyways. It's just a joke. So, going back to the NXT, what I saw last night was really cool. The Trey Baxter superhero issue I have is, no. Let Trey Baxter be something, but, he doesn't have to have a goofy gimmick or, costume or whatever. Have him be a Daniel Bryan. Be that guy that fans can rally behind. And yeah, throw Coda Jade. She's smoking hot. He's damn lucky he got a hot-ass girlfriend. And yes, today is my woman crush of the Wednesday, so it is, again, Jordan Jones. I will throw up a picture probably of Jordan Jones on this podcast, maybe, not on my YouTube, or on my new YouTube channel, but I don't know, depending on that. So, on that note, anyways, she will be up on my Instagram blogger page as my woman crush and my Twitter feed. She is always going to be my woman crush. She is super nice, super sweet. I know she likes to go, do her stuff on So Close. So, yeah, I follow her on that, and I do chat with her on that. So that's cool. Back to the wrestling I had. Yeah, NXT was really good. Corey Grimes, great. I love, he fits this whole new NXT 2.0. I'm sorry. There's going to be a lot of guys who are going to fit it, and there's going to be a lot of guys who don't, and that's probably what, the ones that don't are going to probably be drafted up to the main roster. I liked, on Raw, I probably forgot to say this, Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza, the two cousins teaming up. Great idea. These two could be a great tag team. Not just singles competitors, but tag team. What Raw is lacking on tag team division, you don't have very many tag teams except New Day, Mason T-Bar, Mansoor, and Ali. So yeah, you got to start building that up. Like where SmackDown, you can actually have you got Dirty Dogs, you got the Usos, you got Ray and Dominic, you got Alpha Academy, Street Profits. You got a lot of tag teams on that side. So, yeah. And looking at it all now, because we got Extreme Rules this weekend, which I will probably do on Sunday, a little heads-up prediction kind of thing. So, I will do that. Tomorrow is my, today is going to be a prediction day. So, I'm looking at NFL right now. So, I'm just going to kind of jump over really quick here. Tomorrow is the Panthers versus Texans. I'm taking the Panthers. Just taking the Panthers. Sorry, Tyron Taylor, I don't think he's going to be playing for the Texans. So, yeah. Panthers all the way on that one. Back over to the wrestling again. You got CM Punk's interview tonight. You do get to finally see the Bearded Goat versus best bout wrestler there is. Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson. So, that's your main event of AEW's Grand Slam Dynamite. So, again, this is going to be an epic match. I'm kind of happy it's not for the championship, because honestly, the championship kind of takes away from what the storyline. I like how Tony Khan intertwines the storyline. He kind of like zigzags in like a snake, and it's really cool. Because he can play off so many storylines, because all these guys are so talented that they can work it and make it work really, really well, which I applaud him for. CM Punk's interviews tonight about his match against what was it? Powerhouse Hobbs on Friday at Rampage. Whoop-de-doo. Powerhouse Hobbs. I think everybody really wants to just see Hook and Punk, so let's give it up for Hook and Punk. Starks and Punk, I know a lot of people are calling Punk's going to put over Starks. I kind of doubt that. Punk is going to beat him in the first couple of matches, and then to come to the rubber, that's when Starks takes it. So, anyways, on that point, you got Sting and Darby Allin versus FTR, which is whatever. FTR hasn't done much since they lost the championships, except feud with the Inner Circle, but that, again, Inner Circle thing, it kind of got, I understand where they just kind of pulled it back a little, just let it relax. MJF versus Brian Pillman will be an interesting one tonight. I will absolutely enjoy flying Brian Pillman Jr. beating the shit out of fucking major jackass fucker. I don't give a shit. That's my thing. He's an idiot. MJF is probably one of the greatest heels out there right now, yes, but he's also a massive fucking jackass, so I don't give a shit. And all that protrudes to the next thing. Moving that, we got Impact on Thursday. Sami Callihan's out for an entire year. He broke his ankle, apparently, so that probably puts a lot of kibosh to a lot of plans they probably had for the poor guy. And, you know, my best wishes to him and a speedy recovery to the last Desperado. That sucks. Because he was the most entertaining part of thumbs up, thumbs down for Impact. And to carry on, the whole wrestling aspect has kind of changed too. It's just been really, 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 really cool. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it to the end at most now. I did hear through Wrestling Daily that Vince is going to try to push an edgier NXT 2.0, which I agree. I've already touched base on this a few times earlier on this. And it will be awesome. It will be awesome. Extremely awesome. But, yeah, back to what I'm going to now talk about. It's basically open day for a lot of NHL teams for training camp. So, yesterday I heard the young Russian kid from Minnesota, he signed his 5-year, $45 million deal. Okay. Now, everybody's jumping on the whole bandwagon of, oh, when is Petey getting signed? When is Shears getting signed? Listen. Elliot Friedman is one of the best sources out there. He was either quoted or heard saying that it looks like Hughes might get the long-term deal, Petey's getting the short-term deal because of the money situation. And what I've been hearing is that if players are not vaccinated, they cannot play or something like this. This is what I've been told. They can be suspended by the team. So the cap, their money on the cap doesn't go against the cap. It just kind of goes back into the cap, and they have free money. Some more money to free up. So it's like a positive and a negative. Because you got a lot of people's beliefs on the whole COVID crap. So I can't really specify on that too much. But again, tomorrow is Canucks' first official training camp in Abbotsford. I saw the camp roster. Bailey won't be there because he tested positive for COVID. That sucks. Poor guy. That guy is so talented, and he has the misfortunes, just like Olevi. Talented misfortunes. Jake Virtanen, same thing. Talented misfortunes. It's just the way it goes in Canuckland. I know Oilers opened up camp today because I got some updates on that. I believe I believe Ottawa. I hear Toronto and Montreal, and Winnipeg. Calgary is probably tomorrow, but the other 5 are open to their camps today. That's what I've been hearing. That's great. A lot of PTOs being signed or being offered to players, so that's all right. I hear the Canucks are after a lot of players on the PTOs just in case, you get the long extension of holdouts from Petey and Hughes, whatever. Petey and Huggy Bear, they will sign. Just be patient. I believe in both of them. I don't believe in Jackie, what he says mostly about his brother, because I know how much he wants his older brother in New Jersey with him and their younger brother. So, too bad. I like Jackie, but no. He's our Hughes. He's our Huggy Bear. He stays here. Bastards. Plus, as you get older, that's when you want to play together. Look at the Niedermeyer brothers. The older they got, they won a championship together. The younger they were, they wanted to play against each other just to see who was better than who. And I love that. NBA news, I just touched base. Simmons is sitting out. He doesn't want to play in Philly. I guess that's his decision. He's earned that right. And, you know, he wants out. That's you can't blame the guy for wanting out of a team. You know, you kind of go back and look at, like, Messi. He wanted out of Barca. But again, him and Barca signed that ridiculous release contract of 700 million euros. That is bullshit. You can buy an entire team for that entire amount of money. Actually, I could buy a franchise for 100 million, and then buy the rest, or 300 million, and the rest of the 400 million, I could field out my team and coaching. But anyways, what do I know? I'm a broke ass. I'm an idiot, right? Like, I'm just a sports fan. But that's beside the point. My mental health is doing really well today. I'm doing absolutely well. I haven't had too many bad spots. So yesterday was a really good uptick. Today is even a better uptick. I haven't had no bad spots in my brain. Just kind of, close that down, my other laptop. I'm just having a lot more positive feedback on myself. Taking care. I'm going to work out today. Tomorrow's my day off, because I do 2 days on, day off, 2 days on, day off. So that's how that works. And it's really good. I do the kettlebell workout. And the thing is, everybody has, like, the little weight, like 2 pound, 5 pound, 10 pound. Well, I'm doing it with 30 pounds, so I'm getting a hell of a lot more results out of this. Changed up my diet completely. I cut out a lot of carbs. So I don't eat bread and shit right now. So yeah, it does suck, but whatever. General news, we just had our election. We got a minority government here in Canada again with liberals. Whoop-dee-doo. We're all effed anyways, so I don't give a shit. The positive thing I take away from all of this is really just, I'm happy sports is coming back. I did watch the Blue Jays game yesterday. I'm going to flip back over to the sports because I ain't going to talk about no politics and bullshit like that. I watched the Blue Jays game. Right on, boys. I got my Dodgers on. Let's go Dodgers. Come on, NL, AL. I love my Blue Jays and my Dodgers. That's it. Those are my teams, and that's it. My take from it, again, I notice people are asking me all the time about how can I pick an NL team and an AL team. Well, for one, I'm Canadian, so I got to cheer for the Blue Jays no matter what. I got to cheer. I'm a Canadian guy, but I'm also a West Coast guy. So you got the Mariners and then you got the Dodgers. Well, I'm gonna go with the Dodgers. I love Dodgers. And by the way, I'm half Greek, so my Greek flag is blue and white. Look at that. So, blue and white. I'm going to go with blue and white. But besides all that, I'm just really focused so much more on my wrestling intake right now. I can't wait for Full Gear, because I want to see Full Gear come out, because you had Punk's first pay-per-view. Now we're going to get Daniel Bryan's first pay-per-view in AEW, and Adam Cole. Even though Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson showed up at All Out, they didn't have a match. I want to see a match. The biggest thing is, I hear there's a rumbling going on that AEW is going to have a second women's championship. It's a singles title, I think. That's what he's saying. Because I don't see a lot of women tag teams. Well, you can probably, but you got Ty Conte and AJ. Anna Jay. Anna Jay and her are good. But then you got to make more. My two women crush for wrestling right now are Sky Blue and Julia Hart. Sky Blue, love her. Got 3 autograph signings. I know I got to re-up my Patreon thing for her pretty soon here. Yeah, I've gone a month without it. Damn it. I'm so stupid. But yeah, I love Sky Blue. She's an awesome wrestler. Fantastic. Julia Hart coming along great too. She's awesome. She's fantastic. With the Varsity Blondes. That's cool. As I say, I'm going to keep doing this. My predictions for the weekend are going to be up tomorrow. And I'll probably do another one on Friday just to clarify. I am going to do my FanDuel. I made money in the last 2 weeks, so that's pretty cool. That's a rare thing for me to do 2 weeks in a row winning money. It's like I'm a fantastic. I'm on a roll right now. Like I want to keep going. And all that. Again, if you are watching this on Instagram, or not on Instagram, YouTube, please hit that subscribe, smash that like, leave a comment below. I really appreciate it. I want to hear your guys' takes from my takes and your takes on this podcast and YouTube show. And y'all have a good hump day.